Tonight, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth under fire for reportedly sharing U.S. military attack details in a second Signal chat. The New York Times reporting that Hegseth shared detailed information ahead of airstrikes in Yemen last month in a private group chat that included some family members. And now the White House is reacting just about 15 minutes ago. And NewsNation correspondent Libbey Dean standing by at the White House. Libbey, what is the White House saying?
So we're getting this first reaction out of the White House here to Signalgate round 2, and we're getting a statement from a White House deputy press secretary directly talking about this. And what they say is, quote, no matter how many times the legacy media tries to resurrect the same non-story, they can't change the fact that no classified information was shared. And there, in that first part of the statement that you're looking at on your screen from Anna Kelly, the White House deputy press secretary, where she said that, she's referencing the first Signal scandal that we saw play out. Then this statement goes on, and Kelly says recently fired leakers are continuing to misrepresent the truth to soothe their shattered egos and undermine the president's agenda. But the administration will continue to hold them accountable. Now, what Kelly is referencing there is those recent firings that we've seen happen at the Pentagon. 3 top officials fired. We know that one of them was, of course, a past spokesperson for the Pentagon, where we saw that play out. But this reaction from the White House, the first that we're seeing here, and noteworthy given the fact that they're not directly referencing what Pete Hegseth potentially shared in this. Now, all of this comes after that reporting from the New York Times. And what they're reporting is that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth included his wife and about a dozen other people within his personal and professional inner circle in a chat called Defense Team Huddle. That's what the New York Times is reporting. Now, NewsNation has not been able to independently confirm that this Signal group chat existed, but this does come after that first Signal group chat, of course, that played out. You'll remember Signalgate, where Mike Waltz, Trump's national security advisor, did admit that he made this group chat and then put Jeffrey Goldberg, the Atlantic journalist, in that group chat. You're looking at those that message that was specifically from the defense secretary on your screen there, detailing these Houthi strikes in Yemen. And what the New York Times is reporting, Natasha, is that this second chat that is being reported was also about those Houthi bombing, those U.S. airstrikes on Houthi targets in Yemen.
Yeah, Libbey,
so it's going to be something to watch for, as I mentioned.
Tell me more about that. What can we surmise about the timeline of this Signal chat compared to the one including the Atlantic editor? Was it at the same time? Was it before or after the last scandal that came to light?
So what the New York Times is reporting is that this happened back in March, when this Signal group chat was made with Pete Hegseth and his family members. As for where that comes in the timeline with Mike Waltz and that Signal group chat, I'm trying to remember all the dates here as this is continuing to break. But this isn't a good look for the Trump administration, as they were trying to quell concerns about that first Signal group chat. And now we're hearing about this second one that we're working to independently confirm here.
Yeah, and it sounds like we're getting a late night statement from them. The White House basically denying this and blaming it on disgruntled employees. This is not the story they wanted to start this week with, Libbey.
Yeah, certainly not, Natasha. And I mean, this was something that they were trying to quell concerns about. And you'll remember that there was reporting that President Trump wasn't firing his national security advisor, Mike Waltz, because he didn't want to give the media something to point to, a scalp to point to, when it comes to holding anyone accountable here, when it comes to using Signal as a means to discuss military operations. And you remember those congressional hearings that played out over the course of a week in response to this Signal group chat, and Mike Waltz and Pete Hegseth and everyone who's included in this group chat. You'll remember there were 19 people in this group chat, and even Trump's chief of staff was included in that group chat. Now, we haven't seen, and the vice president, you're looking at those chats there. We don't know the details of who was included in this second group chat, but it's likely that this is going to be the focus of things in Congress in the coming week as well. This is going to be a headline because we know many Democrats are already calling for Pete Hegseth to be fired over this.
We will have to see how this unfolds. Libbey Dean on the breaking news for us tonight at the White House. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.